Yeah. So that's basically the sum of this episode in a nutshell. What's up? It's your boy, TheNextBigThing, coming back at ya with some more DuckTales analysis, baby. I understand that I haven't been on track for a while now, please forgive me, and it's time that we dive right back into this. And before we truly begin, I gotta say, this was a well-written and animated episode, but most of all, Disney strikes again with the fakes. I mean, the whole point of a trailer or a preview is so that we can somewhat analyze and predict what's to come next in the show. But instead, we were given a flat-out lie when we were shown within the Season 2 trailer Magica De Spell back to her former glory state, as opposed to her feebler form. And yeah, it's a minuscule complaint, but come on Disney, we had enough of that from the Avengers movie trailers. Now that that's taken care of, I guess we can discuss the main premise of the episode, which follows GlomGold's adventuring into forming his very own alliance, or well, family. And then there's the other side of the episode focusing on Louie's days as a grounded kid for probably the very first time in his life. And it would be during the day the team decide to go to Big Rock Candy Mountain, where apparently there's some sort of a Hobo King's Ruby bindle, plus it's known to be one of the laziest adventures of all, so obviously Louie wants in. Also, I had forgotten what a bindle was in the making of this script, but it's the same thing you see Scrooge and the gang depart with, much like how you see in some other cartoons where they use it as more of a I'm taking all my crap and getting the freak out of here kind of gimmick. So yeah, that's what that is. So imagine that, but instead it's a ruby bindle. Anyways, I just love how nearly throughout the entirety of the episode, it's Louie attempting to scheme his way out, but yet nothing works. And it was all thanks to the DT-87 robot dating back from season 1. Della was so strict on Louie taking his punishment that she had gotten the thing reprogrammed to monitor him in case of any incidences. But I guess now that I pretty much basically summed up all of Louie's failures, let's talk about someone else's failures. This guy. Again, like I mentioned beforehand, he's gathering new recruits in order to fight against Scrooge, and believes that the main reasoning for his downfall is not because Scrooge is more intelligent, wise, strong, swift, and so many other things that it's not even worth bringing up for comparison, but it's that his family is always there to back him up in most scenarios, to which I have to admit he's not necessarily right, but he's not wrong either. You see, when GlomGold fails, he screws himself. But when pretty much any other villain fails, it takes more than 3 people to bring them down, so that's the difference. In the end, GlomGold surprisingly does manage to collect a family of his own. They got their own launch pad, a Huey, a Louie, and Dewey, a Gearloose but far much more incredibly whiny.
Surrender! Where is Gyro? I'm supposed to be fighting Gyro!
A Beakley and Anti-Scrooge, and the wild card of the group known as Webby. And it was hilarious to see GlomGold consistently be overlooked by everyone due to how much more of a serious threat Magica is compared to him.
I knew this day would come. Magica's grand revenge. I'm clearly standing in front!
So you already understand as to why he in particular wasn't exactly keen on allowing her into the group. And in speaking of Magica De Spell, seriously, she works at a birthday party convention. The Shadow Queen goes to a workplace equivalent to a Chuck E. Cheese's as her job. Oh, the irony.
De Spell? What did we say about declaring magical war on children?
Not to.
Yeah, so eventually they gang together to raid Scrooge's mansion with only the likes of Louie being home at the time. And you see, this would have been an even more fantastic scene if they were there, cause boy, what an invasion it was.
Must call Gizmo Duck! Must call the military! Must call anybody!
Doo-doo-doo! We're sorry, the number you're trying to reach has been blocked because we're invading your house! Alright, see you in a sec. Okay, thanks, bye!
Too bad it also meant that GlomGold's plan to take over practically failed instantly as well. But though it failed just like everything else in his life, he comes up with one of the most inspirational speeches about family and scheming and how much similar they are to each other. And it's lovely how this not only unintentionally encourages Louie, but it was possibly one of the most accurate speeches he had ever done. So much so that it gives Louie an idea. An idea to convince all of the villains to band together so that when all of their finances are combined, they win the bet against GlomGold by what seems to be hundreds of millions of dollars. And here's where the power of great storytelling and continuity takes place really well. Within the contract, Louie is signed as his partner. However, as we learned from earlier this season,
Flintheart GlomGold is a fake identity, so all your money, and all your money goes to your new partner, who
is... Hold on one sec, just let me check right here. Oh, right. May. Always read the fine print. Trademark Louis Duck.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the best twist to a scheme from Louis that I have ever witnessed. You, my friend, are not only cunning, but a freaking mastermind. So in conclusion, Glomgo gets wrecked by an 11-year-old kid due to his extreme issue with greed and not knowing how to read the fine print. And towards the end, Della admits to Louis' scheming being somewhat of a help, but still warns him to just be certain that it doesn't nearly eradicate the entire world of existence next time, and not scar Launchpad.
I went to the future. I've seen how the world ends.
And then there's this pause from Louis after being told to give all of his fortunes over to Scrooge, which was a pretty epic cliffhanger. Because admittedly, after all that Louis had done to get to that point, I would decide to keep it all to myself as well, just to know what being the world's richest person feels like. This episode doesn't necessarily confirm it happening, but come on. The next episode is titled Richest, and it just sounds like something Louis would do for kicks. But yep, that just about ends this episode analysis. Like I said before, this episode was done well. I'm just wondering, now that everyone has apparently lost their funds, including Beaks, the tech hack.
Face punch app! Punch, 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 punch! Ow, ow, ow! In selfie mode.
What's to happen to all of the villains? Are they gonna have to stick together to survive, or will nothing out of the ordinary change? But without further ado, I believe it is time for me to end it here. Thank you all for watching another one of my analysis videos, and I will catch you lovely people all in the next one. Peace!